Aiyuk right, they motion McCaffrey, backwards pass to McCaffrey, and he's going to throw downfield wide open. Brandon Aiyuk! Touchdown! San Francisco!
Hey.
Breezy, this that 9
Mo's nose. Peachy, it's about that time. Everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's nose, Peachy, Breezy, and fair to God. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you 9 to talk. We two gorillas, silverback, nah, silver
You know it's
hawks.
busting the discussion cause we get it in. Every time you know we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win. The faithful going hard. It's Wayne, Breezy, Peachy, Mo's nose, and fear to God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall.
We outline players up in chalk.
Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall.
Line is tall.
Nitty gritty, this the line is tall.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Nitty Gritty Niners Talk. Nitty Gritty Niners Talk's hosted in the building. I'm your host, Wayne Breezy. Crystal Peachy B in the building. What's going on, everybody out there? I want to say happy Monday, but it's not a happy Monday because the San Francisco 49ers got beat by the Los Angeles Rams. Peachy, how you doing on this fine Monday evening?
Not only did we get beat, which was worse enough to start my Monday off on a bad note, but the news that we're about to bring you just completely just like exploded it. Like it literally just exploded. Just like the icing. When you have the icing, it was literally like the topping, and just to where everything tumbles, or like Jenga. When you have the thing or whatever. That's kind of how I feel. I feel like I put a piece at the top and everything just fell down.
Just fell down, right? Just said, I'm gonna fall.
Yes.
Dang.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Super crazy. We're gonna go through the injury report. Welcome everybody to the show. For those that don't know, the San Francisco 49ers lost to the Rams 27-24 in regulation. The San Francisco 49ers looked like they were playing a pretty good game that they were in control of, and then they lost control. The Rams took over, and from that, the Rams kicked the game-winning field goal. 49ers had one more opportunity for a literally Hail Mary, not a bomb throw Hail Mary, but a Hail Mary play, and unfortunately it didn't work out. 49ers lost to the Rams on the road in L.A. All right, now what Peachy's talking about, we'll go ahead and get down to the injury report. Peachy, some injuries just came out of nowhere. We knew yesterday that Javon Hargrave may have suffered a tricep injury, but they told Kyle Shanahan that it wasn't serious. All of a sudden today, we get the breaking news, and this is probably the most disturbing news. What you got for us, Peachy, on this injury report?
Well, what we got today is that Javon Hargrave partially tore his triceps and will be out for the season per Kyle Shanahan. That's one. And you have our quarterback, Brock Purdy, who is dealing with back soreness in his day-to-day. Even though the MRI did come back okay, Kyle said the hope is that he will be able to practice on Wednesday for the Patriots on Sunday. Said Christian McCaffrey is seeing a specialist in Germany about his lingering Achilles tendonitis issue. Said that there was a photo that was circulating of McCaffrey waiting for a flight to Munich on Saturday. So they got clarification on that. I guess the picture came out and everybody was kind of wondering like what that meant. So Kyle Shanahan clarified that today. That's what that meant. And then a bit of good news, hopefully. 49ers hope to get George Kittle back at practice this week.
Well, that's a little bit of fresh breath of fresh air news. At least they'll be looking to get back the All-Pro tight end George Kittle. be tough, right? Like this
It's very tough.
This is tough.
Yeah. It's very tough because despite how these players looked or didn't look or whatever that were out there, it's really sad when you lose one for a season-ending injury. And it really sucks because on top, like I said, of the loss and how the players were already feeling, now you've lost a significant part of the defensive line for the season.
I know a lot of people out there. A lot of people are feeling like the Niners wasted the money on Hargrave because the production that he brought in Philly is definitely not the same type of production in San Francisco. And so, I mean, last season he did make the Pro Bowl, but you know, his sack numbers. Here's a tweet that got put out by Cam Inman. He says defensive tackle Javon Hargrave sustained a season-ending triceps tear in Sunday's loss. He had his first and only sack of the season on a clear rush to Stafford, played 104 snaps, made 7 tackles in 3 games. Made Pro Bowl last season, counts for over $28 million on the cap this year and next year. I believe he had a restructure too. You know what I'm saying? I believe he had a restructure in his deal. So we'll see how that plays out.
He did.
You know, but dang, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But at the end of the day, like, it's an injury to where it does not have the ability to even, you know, play. He doesn't have the ability to play. He doesn't have the ability to play. So we can't be like, oh yeah, it's a waste of money. We won't know. He tore his tricep. You know, it's unfortunate injury. I know a lot of people felt like he was lackadaisical out there and taking plays off and things like that. But now he's injured. So we can no longer talk about Javon Hargrave, thank God. Because the one thing we do as 49er faithful is we talk about these players.
And then what's crazy is I've heard so much horrible talk about Hargrave and like a teaspoon of bad talk about our highest paid defensive player in the National Football League in Nick Bosa. Just saying. Like, it really just, well, anyway, I know, I agreed I wasn't going to do this, but that really aggravated me right there so bad. Because the whole line was bad. It wasn't just Hargrave that was bad. And I think that's what aggravated me the most. But it is definitely crazy. And I'm just, wow. Yep.
It's gonna I don't know. It's gonna be that way. Nick's getting doubled. The whole defensive line isn't it. So
right.
I feel like what's the Leonard Floyd? Where's he been?
Mm-hmm. I 100% agree with that. It's just the line is just not as good as is being advertised. That's all.
And last season it was because I thought the line struggled mainly in the pass rush because the quarterbacks were getting the ball out of their hands quick. Well, this particular game, I mean, Matthew Stafford was looking to get the ball down the field every freaking chance he got. He didn't care if he made the throw or missed the throw. He was going to test the 49ers secondary because he knew the pass rush couldn't get to him. Even though they sacked him 3 times, it wasn't anything like that was going to stop him. So, I don't know. The 19 pressures, 3 sacks out of those pressures, it's not really good numbers, but the sacks are just low. The sacks are really low. I got a question for you. I wonder how bad are the 49ers missing Eric Armstead, and should they have paid him that money? Like, should they not have asked him to take a pay cut?
Yeah,
because it seems like that 49ers defensive line is different
yeah.
without Eric Armstead out there. And I know it's young on the season, but it's different. And I mean, to be fair, they also have a different defensive coordinator as well, but something's not right, like just defensively. But again, for those that are just tuning in, 49ers defensive tackle Javon Hargrave out for the season due to a tricep tear. And so he won't be with the 49ers this year. So we'll have to see him next year. Listen, we wish you a speedy recovery, young fella. Heal up, rest up, come back strong. Come back strong. All right, Peachy, what are we gonna do for how do the 49ers, how do you want the 49ers to address the injury, the season-ending injury to Javon Hargrave? How would you like for them to address it?
Well,
in-house, out of the house, like what do you think they're gonna do? They got money.
I don't really know what's available out there for them to do outside, but yeah, that would definitely be the thing to do, is to look and see who is actually a free agent that is available right now.
They got some bread. Listen, they got some bread. I'll look at defensive tackles to be exact. We know that Fletcher Cox retired.
Yep.
They could bring back Hassan Ridgeway if he hasn't been picked up. He's a familiar face. The Niners like to bring back familiar faces. Did we ever have Ross Blacklock in here? Why does that name sound familiar? Ross Blacklock.
Ross Blacklock.
I feel like that name sounds familiar. But there's just really nobody out there other than Hassan Ridgeway. Maybe Al Woods, but he's old. Like, yeah, no. Al Woods retired, I think. Nah, yeah. Ross Blacklock from Tennessee, he played for Tennessee, is available. Hassan Ridgeway, I believe, is available, unless he's with the Texans. This is tough. It's a tough blow. So the Niners in-house, they have T.Y. McGill, who could be called up. He's a veteran. And they have the undrafted free agent that they can call up, Evan Anderson.
So, Breezy, I've heard a lot of people say this. Not this one, sorry. This one right here. You guys are chatting and interacting, which is fantastic. I'm just trying to keep up with it. Callie says that we should trade for DJ Jones. So what are we going to trade?
What does Callie want to? What do you want to trade for DJ Jones,
right.
Sir?
Yeah. What are we going to
Because
trade?
now they feel we need DJ Jones. So now it's going to cost more than what we really want to spend on DJ Jones, who, since you want to talk about DJ Jones, let's talk about what type of a season Mr. DJ Jones is having as of right now. Hasn't really been good since he left San Francisco, to be exact. But let's talk about Mr. DJ Jones, and let's see how Mr. DJ Jones is doing so far in Denver. But I mean, I would love to trade for him. I just don't know if I'm willing to spend whatever they're asking. I mean, if they're asking for 6th round pick, 7th round pick, for sure. But let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so he's played in all the games. I believe he was dealing with an injury too. I felt like he got injured in one of these games. Might have been the first. Yeah. All right. So first game at Seattle, he played a total of 37 snaps. 37 snaps. He hasn't played a lot. He played a total of 30 snaps at home and against Pittsburgh, and then 23 snaps against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which they got their first win. He has a total of 4 pressures on the year, 0 sacks, 1 hit, 3 hurries. His numbers are worse than Javon Hargrave's, but he does know the system. I hope. I feel like when these players leave the 49ers, they forget how to play football, or they forget the system.
It seems that way.
Yeah, right? Like, the first person that come to mind we brought back was Kerry Hyder, and he just wasn't the same Kerry Hyder. But we did draft DJ Jones. So I'm just curious, like, what would, like, a 6th round pick, a 7th round pick? Jones is uninjured. Okay, you said he's uninjured. I thought he got injured in one of the games.
I thought that he got injured in one of them too.
I don't know what the injury is, but I remember him getting injured.
Wrong. Here goes one, Breezy.
So you're trading for an edge, so that's going to cost, and you got to pay him.
Yes.
The Niners already struggled in paying Brandon Aiyuk, Nick Bosa, and all these other players. They're already on the books, $28 million for Hargrave, which will come next year. I don't know if they want to spend that type of money. I'm not spending a 5th round pick on DJ Jones. I wouldn't spend a 5th round pick. It would be 6 or low. I mean, now in the Niners, I'm starting low. I'm starting with 7th round pick.
Me too.
If I'm the 49ers, I'm starting with the 7th round pick. My bad.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you there. You got I also believe that Reddick is too expensive for us to get, because if you think about it, not a lot of teams have been calling the Jets about Reddick because
that contract.
It's gonna cost. That contract is something else. Them teams ain't wanting to do that.
Yeah, Reddick is a special player though. He's definitely just a pass rusher. He's a pass rushing specialist. You know what I mean? But those guys are kind of like worth it. You know? Look, I don't think the Niners are going to spend on that. If that was the case, they should have tried to get him in the first place.
Yes.
But they settled for Leonard Floyd, who's been MIA. You want to talk about MIA? Let's look up Leonard Floyd's stats. I got you. Because I probably forgot he was even on this roster. Let's look up Leonard Floyd's stats. Edge rusher, 49ers. Similar amount of snaps to DJ Jones we just talked about. His grade so far, 47.4, 45.7, 36.3. He was terrible in the LA game. His former team, you would think he would come out. He has a total of 5 pressures and 1 sack, 4 hurries on the season, total of 4 tackles. He has 1 missed tackle, 4 stops.
Right.
I know it's a young season. He also has 2 penalties. Ugh. We need him to stand up. We need Leonard Floyd to return to Leonard Floyd form, but I wonder if the way that they're utilizing him as an every down pass rusher is like the issue when it comes to Leonard Floyd. Lil Lean says 49ers get edge, Hassan Reddick. Jets get Robert Bill Jr., conditional 2026 4th round pick. So the conditional to that, meaning that it can potentially be a 3rd round pick if he makes certain, if Hassan Reddick gets a certain number of sacks or something like that. Yeah, what's the condition would be the question. And he said 2026. I don't know if the Jets are going to wait that long on a conditional pick.
Right.
It might have to be a 2025 conditional 4th round pick. That's a long time to be waiting.
I agree.
And the Jets the Jets don't know Robert Bill Jr. They're not looking to develop anybody. No. Eric Peterson, this is a funny one right here. I was thinking the same thing, bro. So I'm currently looking at, which left tackles are available. This season just doesn't seem like it's going to end well for the 49ers, which in a way is a gift because now we can draft a top-tier tackle because they definitely need to really start to address the offensive line. It's time. It's time to say we got all these pieces in place. We got all these. Now let's get Brock protected. Right. And let's have him protected for years. Oh, Leslie's here. What's up, Leslie? She says, no, not time to panic, but I have a question. Has anyone ever fired a defensive coordinator 3 games into the season? Well, Steve Wilkes was almost fired, but they made him an ultimatum, and he came out of the he came out of the booth onto the field. I don't know. I don't think Sorensen will get fired, but he definitely may get demoted. I don't know. Demoted meaning going back to defensive passing game specialist or secondary specialist or something, and you brought Brandon Staley and might as well give him the reins. Me personally, I will give him 2 more games. He gets 2 more games. I thought about this, PJ. I was going to say that, but I didn't want to say it. Put Sorensen in the booth. Peachy, how you feel about Nick Sorensen right now? I'm curious to know how you feel.
Well, for one, you want to give him 2 more games. I just want to give him 1 more game.
No, you got to give him 2. You got to give him 2 because the Patriots game can't really evaluate from the Patriots game. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not built. Like, if we lose the Patriots game, I really want to see him get tested against that Arizona Cardinals offense. If he could pass that test.
Got you.
That's why I said 2. Opposed to the
that's right. We do have the Cardinals after the Patriots.
Yeah, that's why I said 2, Peachy. Like,
Okay.
But how you feeling about him though? Because I know you don't want to give him 2 games. What are your thoughts on Nick Sorensen right now? And if you can grade Nick Sorensen, anybody out there in the chat too, what is your grade for defensive coordinator Nick Sorensen? Peachy, what would you grade Nick Sorensen, and what are your thoughts on him?
I would give Nick Sorensen a D because what we do see that's going on out here in this defense is just the talent that our defense has. I don't see a lot of coaching changes. I don't see a lot of fundamental changes. Everything is like nothing's changed. We're still not able, because like with the pass rush, I think I brought this up in the chat on the Wayne Breezy show. Our pass rush is almost non-existent. Pass rush is not just getting to the quarterback, getting a sack. And I think there are some people that get confused about that. It's also about applying pressure. And the fact that Matt Stafford felt so comfortable throwing that ball down the field 50-something yards is just, man. He literally like felt no pressure whatsoever. And I just can't get down with that. I just really feel that I thought with Sorensen that there was going to be, the way he talked anyway, that there was going to be some fundamental changes. One thing that I do not see is this violence that people keep talking about how, this defensive line is supposed to be so violent and we preach violence. Where's the violence? Because right now I see a soft ass defense out there. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to have people to continue to run all over this team. Like literally running back, Kyron Williams, run all over this team. It was really crazy. And it was really embarrassing to witness the way that our defense was playing. So that's why I said 1 game. Because for me, if the defense can't look better against the Patriots offense, he got to go. He got to go, man. He got to go.
It's one of those games where the reason why I wouldn't count the Patriots game, and I totally love your take on it, right? Because it's like, dude, if you struggle against this offense, so I'm not even going to expect him to struggle against this offense because the Patriots just don't have an offense really. They run the ball. If they run the ball successfully, they'll be able to throw the ball. They won't be able to come out there and just throw the ball deep down the field. Now, I do think, which we'll get into it a little bit later on in the show, that Jacoby Brissett, if he's the starting quarterback, will try to get the ball down the field. He will push it. He will push it. If he doesn't get the pressures, like you said, if the 49ers defense isn't disrupting his pass. I think what you were trying to say about the pressures it's not all about the sacks, but you got to be disruptive in your pass rush. And I feel like the 49ers aren't disruptive in the pass rush, right? So are the total number of pressures there? They got 19 last game. That's a pretty decent number on however many snaps the defense played out there. You get 19 pressures. That's pretty good. I think they definitely missed a sack or 2. They got to find a way to get their hands and their paws on these quarterbacks, especially the immobile ones. And so, I don't know what this defense is going to do against a guy like Kyler Murray under the direction of Nick Sorensen. I know what the defense did against mobile quarterbacks under the direction of Steve Wilks, and it wasn't bad. They actually, who rushed the most? Kyler Murray. And I think it was for maybe not even 50 yards. Maybe it was 51 yards, but they held Lamar Jackson limit. They limited him to 40. Remember, he had that one big run. He gave a one big run to Lamar Jackson, and it pushed his numbers all the way up. So it's always like one play. Defense has been atrocious on third down. They're giving up explosive plays. You know who didn't give up explosive plays down the field? Steve Wilkes. Now, I'm not comparing these two or anything like that. What if the key? Never mind. I'm not even going to say that. Try to get myself messed up on my own show. Ambry Thomas will be back, though, after this week. I will put that out there. Ambry Thomas will be back. Put his ass at safety. Let Ambry play safety. Put Ambry at free safety. I just want to see if it works. He sucks as a corner, but we don't have a safety. We got safeties, but we don't have that free roaming the field safety. I would not mind converting an Ambry Thomas who doesn't have any responsibility unless he has to play man on the defense other than to pick a side of the field that you got to play zone in. Let it simplify to them because he's a terrible corner. It's a terrible cover corner. But he'll be back and maybe they'll give him an opportunity to help out deep in the backfield as a secondary. I know it's a crazy take, but yeah, he's on the roster. Somehow he's going to be here. He'll probably end up swapping spots with a guy like Ronnie Bell or something like that. Ronnie Bell, you're cut. Ambry Thomas, you're on the roster. I'm like, well, they're both trash. What are we doing here? But we'll see what happens. Right. Pick your poison.
So what I was going to say is I have a question for you. What imprint do you see that Sorensen has made on this?
Oh, it's too young to see his imprint as of right now. I think it's too young. Peachy. I think it's too young on the season. I think he needs more games. Believe it or not, he's missing a key element to his defense. I mean, look, I love DeMeco Ryans. I think DeMeco Ryans was the best defensive coordinator under the Kyle Shanahan regime. He was better than Robert Saleh. But at least DeMeco had Dre Greenlaw. And so Steve Wilkes had some Dre Greenlaw in and out. Remember, he was dealing with the injuries, and he had the Achilles, and then in the biggest game of his career, it pops. No Dre Greenlaw for Nick Sorensen. I think not having him out there relieving some of the responsibilities from some of the safeties because of his ability to cover, I think that's part of the issue, and that's why I don't think you can really say that there's an imprint left on Nick Sorensen. I believe the violence is there because we saw it in Fred Warner for 2 weeks. You didn't get it this week from Fred Warner. Fred couldn't bring it. I don't know if he was overcompensating again or whatever, but it wasn't the same violent Fred. But I don't think his imprint is left it. I think you got to give it you know how a rookie quarterback comes in, you got to give him time. And then I get it. But I just think that if Nick Sorensen continues to struggle and his guys can't grasp whatever the concept of his defense or whatever his imprint is on the game, it's going to be tough to keep rocking with Nick Sorensen. And that's why I think Kyle Shanahan literally brought in a Brandon Staley. Now I think I'm starting to understand because Nick Sorensen is young and coaching, PG, and now you're going to bring in the savvy vet just in case. What do we call that? Like a safety net, something like that, just in case it just goes south. You can just insert Brandon Staley. I don't even think Kyle makes a crazy change where he demotes Nick Sorensen, but Brandon Staley you might see on the field more because he's the one that's in the booth, right? I think Brandon Staley's in the booth. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that answered your question, but I don't see an imprint. I think it's too young to get an imprint. He's just getting Talanoa Hufanga back. We have to give that some time. Hopefully Dre Greenlaw returns off the PUP after this week and move to the active roster and ready for practice. We got to give that some time. So we just got to give him a little time. Now you lost a big piece or portion of your defensive tackles. So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Right. Got you.
Real tough. So, look, I mean, just looking at this game, you know what, Peach, I had a question for you. It's like if you could change one thing from this loss in Los Angeles, what would it be? Only one. Come up with one thing you can change from the loss in Los Angeles. Those that are just tuning in before Peachy answers the question, Javon Hargrave, defensive tackle, is out for the season with a torn tricep, partially torn tricep.
Yeah. One thing that I would change is at halftime. Can we send Brian Schneider back on a bus?
I like it.
Because I would seriously be so happy if he'd never, ever touched our special teams again. Ever.
Can I ask you this? What was his gift as a special teams coach? Like, what made Kyle Shanahan say he's the one?
Right. I don't know. I cannot stand, like, I literally am saying this, like, I cannot stand that dude. Like, he's got to go. Like, he has to go. That is one that I feel like over Sorensen needs to go.
Is it
because
just
he has been special teams coordinator for a while.
For what has it been? 3 seasons or 4 seasons?
About 4 seasons, probably.
Okay.
So he got to go.
And let me ask you this: is it just because of the 4th and 6 debacle that his team was just unprepared, or is it collectively a bunch of stuff plus that?
It's everything. Our special teams is not good.
I'm glad you brought that up because I agree. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you about that. I do want to special teams. Golly, I mean, I'm not factoring in the turnovers, but I mean, you want to talk about like they're 28th in kick return. Okay, so that means yeah. Jeez, that's it. We only average. Nah, this can't be right. Wait a minute. The Cardinals average 41 yards. You know what it is? Who was the special teams person I said we need to sign? Was it Jamal Agnew in free agency? You just need a guy that just knows how to make people miss.
Yeah, that's who it was, yeah.
Stop trying. There's guys out there that just get it done. Stop trying to develop a special teams play. I know you don't want him taking up, but Jamal Agnew could play running back. Jamal Agnew's a running back.
That's
for the
right.
Jacksonville Jaguars at one point.
You're right.
So if you needed depth at the running back, you could have got him. But I know you know what he can do really well? Return the ball, make people miss. We thought these new rules in the kickoff game, golly, the Cardinals averaged 41 yards. Huh? Huh? What? The Cardinals have 3 returns. 3 for 123 yards because they got that touchdown. Whatever. Whatever. Ask me where we are in punt.
Where are we?
28th, averaging 6.2 yards per 6.6 yards per return. We're just not good on special teams, and that's the part of special teams we need.
Yes.
Like, PG, if my special teams player can get the ball to the 40, 50 every now and then, every other now and then, can you imagine Brock saying, damn, I only got to go 60 yards for a touchdown? I only got to go 50 yards for a touchdown? Yeah. Oh, easy peasy.
Yeah,
instead of going 80.
To me, it was so awful because then you watched on the Rams side how their special teams was. And you're like...
Brand new player, right, Peachy?
Yeah.
Brand new player. First time. I forgot what school he went to. I
forgot too, and they said so.
No, because sometimes you got to look at these schools that are smaller schools. A lot of players that are athletic and stars go to those schools just because they're not like Big Ten, SEC. This is where you go get those special team players from, guys that couldn't make it academically at these big school programs. That don't mean they can't play mother freaking football.
Or they go to the smaller schools so they can start. Because a lot of times if there's already, a huge depth and they know they're not going to start at the big schools, then they go to the small schools so they can be noticed. So they can start. So they're not hidden behind, a whole bunch of other stars and things like that. So
the fact that y'all remember this stuff is amazing. PJ says, if I remember correctly, Kyle sent the text. First of all, why does Kyle have his number? That's my question. That's the question. I have questions about questions. Out of all the numbers, you should have just kept Richard Hightower. Matter of fact, you fired Richard Hightower because his players weren't prepared for trick plays on special teams. Fake punts, fake kickoff, fake field goals, things like that.
Which is absolutely what happened yesterday.
Absolutely.
But Kyle said that he was prepared for it. And that he knew that it was going to happen. That's what he said.
So then how far, that could be true, right? Because if Kyle is at one spot, it's probably the special teams coordinator might be way freaked down there. I don't know how the communication situation works, but when you hire coordinators, you instill your trust for them to know what's going on. My thing is, if Kyle knew, why couldn't he just call a timeout?
That's what.
I mean, I know you would have wasted a timeout. I get it.
I understand.
But why not call a timeout if you knew, Kyle?
And the thing is, guys, like I 100% believe that Kyle knew because Kyle knows Sean McVay. So he knows.
I 100% believe
what
Kyle
he wants to do. So I actually do believe that Kyle Shanahan knew what he was about to do.
Kyle knows when it's PI, holding. He's telling the ref what it is, and they see it. So I believe it too. My question is then why not call it a timeout? So then you can stop it. Put your defense back there on the football field.
Yeah.
Now, if the defense can't stop a 4th and 6, that's another conversation. But since the defense wasn't out there, that's so crazy. I thought the special teams would take a bump up because I thought that because I assumed that everybody starting is no longer on special teams. So the special teams get all the players that started in the preseason back. Yes. But for some reason, special teams is like the weakest link. Oh, you forgot to mention D. Winter's injury. He re-injured his ankle. The only linebacker that can give you any flash of a Dre Greenlaw at this moment is D. Winters, and he not healthy either. Forgot to talk about that. Sorry about that. Kyle said, we knew they would. Yeah. I believe it, though. My issue is call timeout, coach.
Yes.
We had timeouts, right?
Yes.
I don't know, man.
It's crazy.
If I could change anything from the game, I gotta go to the 3rd and 8. I gotta go to the 3rd and 8. I felt like for me, that's when the shit hit the fan. It was the 3rd and 8. I believe the Niners were up by 7 at the time. Yes, I think they were up by a touchdown. I think it was 21-14. It was 3rd and 8, Peachy. All we needed to do was find a way to get 8 yards, which is a long shot, no doubt. But he dropped back and called a pass. He called the pass play on 3rd and 8, which typically I get it. But the scenario is different because the time isn't on your side. You want to control this clock as much as you can. If you pass the ball and it's incomplete, what happens, Peachy? If you throw the ball and it's an incomplete pass, what happens to the clock?
No, the clock keeps going.
No, the clock stops.
I mean, the clock stops and then gotcha.
So now you just gave your opposing team more time. Mm-hmm. Brock didn't see anybody open, right? And so he had to run for his life about 3 or 4 times. He escaped at least 3 or 4 sacks. Mm-hmm. And all to gain 3 yards. Now, that one play call. I know people don't want to blame Kyle. That's fine. But I'm blaming him on that one play call. because I could have sworn I did not see the defense stack the box. And let's just say I didn't see it. Tell me how defense can stack the box with 8 players and play coverage. They got 16 motherfuckers on the football field or something I don't know about. If so, that's a penalty. How is it that they're able to stack the box with 8? You only get 11. So that's 3 people covering. There was nobody open for Brock to throw the ball to. No, nobody. Not even Ronnie Bell was open. He would have dropped it. But my point is, if they were playing the run, that means there should have been 3 people covering. Or 4. Let's say it was 7 in the box. Let's say it was 7-man front. At the end of the day, Brock should have been able to outrun somebody to get them yards. But nah, they were playing coverage. And because they were playing coverage, they knew on 3rd and 8 we were doing what? We were passing the ball. So if they knew we were passing the ball, you can play. If there was no running back in the backfield, what we do? We motion his ass to the backfield. I don't care if it's Jauan Jennings. You put somebody in the backfield and you let him run straight up the middle. And you take what you can get. At least it's not your quarterback running. And if you get 3 yards, Moody, come on here, kick a 55 field goal. If you get 4 yards, now it's only 54.
Yep.
If you get 5 yards, 53. Get 6, 52. What if you got a first down and you ran it with Jordan Mason?
Exactly. Yep.
So that one play call, in my opinion, that one play call, if y'all go back and watch the game, that one play call, I felt like Kyle wants that play call back. Because after that, it all hit the fan. And Moody misses the field goal.
Yeah, not only does Kyle know Sean McVay, but Sean McVay also knows Kyle Shanahan.
Bingo.
He knew that it was going to be a pass.
Bingo.
That was just ridiculous. All I know is that
that's a funny one. Now I can laugh. That's a funny one though.
was that so I try to remember, because when I get upset, it's hard for me to like focus on like certain things that happen in the game. Was our game the one where they had the fake injury from the Rams player, where he went down like
I don't remember,
really slow and whatever, and then they helped him off the thing just so he could get a breather?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I think that was our game. I'm trying to remember if it was or not. Because I remember them actually knowing that it was fake before he even went. Like, they knew what he was doing when he went down and faked that injury so he could get a breather.
It's possible. I don't remember that from when I started. I was able to watch the game live.
And it may be in a different game. I'm not sure what game it was. All I know is that there's all these little things that seems to just happen to the Niners. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, the Niners are 1-2, and the question is, how do they flip the script? And the Niners are dealing with several injuries. We already talked about Christian McCaffrey's got to go see a specialist in Germany about this Achilles tendonitis, and now they're going to be out without Javon Hargrave for the season. You gave us some potentially good news of George Kittle returning. We know Deebo's got 1 more week off, so at least we know that. The PUP designation to return is after this week. Will we get Dre Greenlaw? Will they keep what's going to happen with him? We don't know. You're going to get the IR candidates that can potentially return back to the roster after this game when they have to play the Arizona Cardinals. We got back-to-back home games, or do we go to Arizona after we play this game? I can't remember.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that they're back-to-back home games.
That would be good. Because now you can get those guys to return.
I think so.
But I know we got the Patriots at home. Listen, the Patriots are going to be coming into town, PG. The Patriots are coming into town. And Miss Cynthia, thank you for the super chat. But my channel is suspended from monetization, so we can no longer give super chats here. But I do appreciate you for trying to send one.
Yes, the Patriots and Cardinals are home games, and then we're on the road to Seattle.
All right, so that's good. So at least we got back-to-back home games where players can kind of like get right. So Debo should be returning for that Arizona game and in full go. Is that Thursday night football against Seattle?
Seattle is, yes.
Okay, and so we'll see. We'll have to see how guys are. Guys are a little tender when it comes to football, and that's a short week, so maybe Debo doesn't play in the Arizona game. Before we do this, I didn't take off the super chats. Can we do this? Can we talk about, before we jump to the Patriot talk, can we talk about how dope Jauan Jennings is on this team?
I'm wearing a shirt.
3rd and 15. That's a dope shirt. I'm surprised I don't have that shirt. I feel like I don't have that shirt. It's my shirt. How come I don't have that shirt? 3rd and 15. Talk about him, man, because he's no longer a third down de facto, right? Like I said it last night on the Bleacher Report.
Mm-hmm.
Jauan Jennings is wide receiver 1.
And today on the Wayne Breezy show, you also said the same thing as well.
I didn't know I said that.
Just to reiterate.
Wide receiver 1.
100%.
Which is good because you're
That's
paying
great.
your wide receiver 1 not to be a decoy, but I mean if they double covering him, if he has to fight, if he's trying to, good. Now I could get this guy some routes, get him some reps. What are your thoughts on Jauan Jennings so far?
And I was so impressed with him. He has came so far. And I am so proud of him. Everything he's accomplished, the opportunity that he's able to get, him getting paid. And I know he's not paid like a 1, but he still plays like one. And I'm just he's just, those catches that he was making yesterday were just insane.
What was your favorite catch? He had 3 touchdown catches, right? One was two were wide open, right? Like three touchdown catches. Yeah. He had a Moss catch.
Yeah, the Moss catch is the one that's got to be my favorite. That wasn't even a touchdown catch.
Nah, that was give me that ball, dog.
It was amazing. It was so amazing.
That was give me that ball, dog. Like,
yes.
It wasn't give me the ball. I'm going to take the ball out your hand. Look at Kylie. I'm going to take the ball out your hand, dog. That's what that was.
Wow.
Yeah.
He got a lot of props from the wide receivers, old and new, and was very happy to see that because he 100% deserves that. What he did yesterday, and I know people are sitting here talking about, it was just, the Rams defense was missing all these players and whatever. I don't care. We were also missing players. So I don't really care.
For sure.
It really doesn't matter.
Fairly even because they were missing, let's say they were missing, I know they were missing more in number, but we probably had more impactful players not playing in the game.
Yes.
So it was kind of even, in my opinion.
I had been following this kid since he was at Tennessee Vols, and I was so happy when we drafted him. They said, he had like attitude problems, and it wasn't his talent. It was, attitude or whatever. Has shown none of that since he's been in San Francisco. He has always been a team guy. He actually was a team guy last night as well, because when the media was trying to get at him, he declined. And he declined because it wasn't about him. It was about the team. Team lost. So he doesn't want to talk about his accolades because we lost. And that to me just also showed that he is about the team. Very happy for him. He's up for FedEx Player of the Week. FedEx Offensive Player of the Week. I really want all you guys to go and vote for him and tell everybody to go vote for him because he 100% deserves it. He was actually the top fantasy wide receiver
on my motherfucking bench
of the week. And I had him on my bench in 2 leagues.
Well, the good news is nobody else had him. The bad news is I lost. So, I lost
but
to myself.
He was outstanding. And I want to see more of that dude out there doing his thing. But like Breezy said, he's no longer a 3rd and 15 anymore. He's past that.
Yeah, Matt says JJ is going to be the best player on offense this year. It's funny because what's happening defensively to our offense is they're forcing Brock to throw the ball elsewhere. Like either get the ball quickly as you can to Debo to see what he can do, and they're taking away Brandon Aiyuk. They're bracketing him down the field, so it's corner with the safety over the top. They're not allowing him to get to the middle of the field, and this started in the Super Bowl. It started last year in the playoffs. So a lot of defenses are taking the blueprint of what teams did to the 49ers in the playoffs, which limited Debo, which limited Brandon Aiyuk. And in that Super Bowl game, Jauan Jennings with hamburger and cheese. You know what I'm saying? When he could, when they got him the ball. And so in this game, Jauan Jennings was dealing with an injury all throughout training camp, all throughout the preseason. And he came in last night, 11 catches, 175 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Man, get that man another round of applause, man.
He was a monster. And like I said, we're also proud of him. We're so excited for him. And I'm more excited for all the opportunities. And I know it's going to come this way because the gleam that Kyle had on his face every time he did something, it was just like the announcers were talking about it. They said that Kyle's got him another one because that's what he has. He definitely has another wide receiver.
I know this isn't that show, but I'm going to ask you this before, and I really want to get to some Patriot talk because we got to deal with the Patriots. I know a lot of people feel like it should be an easy win, but we should have beat the Rams easily too. That didn't work out. Do you think when I don't know if this is for every team, but when the 49er players get their bags, does their work ethics change? Because they just don't seem the same. It's happened to every player. I don't care if it had to do, some of it was because of injury. I remember Fred Warner taking a decline at one point, but then he brought his game back up to a whole nother level. George Kittle was dealing with injuries like a lot. Even though it didn't seem like he missed a lot of games, it just seemed like he missed a lot of time due to a lot of injuries. I'm just trying to think of all the players that get their bag. Trent Williams seems to be declining right now. They got these restructures. Brandon Aiyuk is off. Jauan Jennings didn't get a bag, even though he got a secured contract, but the numbers are low. Do you think because of that is why he's still going out there playing with a chip on his shoulder? Because he's trying to secure a bag. Like, he's trying to secure that bag. I don't know. The bag lag. I like that, Tara Dome. I like that.
All I know is I do feel that way. I remember when there was some 49ers people, I ain't gonna call no names though, because that wouldn't be right or whatever, that thought that Fred, after he got paid the way that he was playing or whatever, that we should think about trading him. I'm not too old to remember that. I remember it. I absolutely remember it. And all I'm saying is that it just seems to be going on. I feel like that Aiyuk, the time that he spent away not practicing with this chemistry with Brock, it's just not there yet. It's just not there. The chemistry that Brock seems to have with Jennings is insane. Jennings was there the whole entire training camp, was right there, Mr. Reliable, and it's paying off. Watching what he can do. It really is. I hope that Aiyuk and Brock continue to build on their chemistry, because 49ers need Aiyuk to be Aiyuk again.
People keep saying it's not chemistry. I don't know what the fuck y'all be watching. Like, it's not. Do you watch the film? I put the film out. Aiyuk's open. He doesn't throw it to him. Aiyuk's open. He doesn't throw it to him. Aiyuk's covered. He throws it to him. What the fuck kind of chemistry is that? That doesn't make any sense. How do you miss him when he's wide open, but you're going to throw it to him when he's double covered? I don't know what's wrong. This game right here, I thought Brock played phenomenally. I thought Brock
It was outstanding.
An all-star Pro Bowl quarterback in this game, and he messed up on one play. Like one play, you have Brandon Aiyuk wide open in the end zone, literally walking down the field, and Brock doesn't even throw it. He doesn't pull the trigger. He's literally dancing. I'm like, damn, Brock got some good footwork. He could have pulled the trigger 3 times. Aiyuk was open 3 times down the field. Maybe Brock didn't feel like he could have made the throw. I don't know, but I can't put it all on Brandon Aiyuk because when he's open, they don't get him the ball. When he's not open, they're trying to force it to him, and that's not fair. So, like, yeah, he's got to catch the pass. He's got to catch the ball when it's thrown to him. He can't drop passes either. You know, no one should be dropping passes, especially if you play the wide receiver position, unless the ball's behind you. You know, it's whatever. I mean, if you go to last week's game, to Brandon Aiyuk's defense, he had a walk open touchdown and a fade route in the end zone, and Purdy just overthrows it, and then he goes out of bounds. It's like the opportunities be there, and for some reason Purdy ain't in sync with his receiver. I don't think it's chemistry on the wide receiver part is what I'm trying to say. I think Purdy just got to just throw the ball like how you normally do it. It's the same guy. Now, if it was a timing route, yeah. These are Aiyuk wide open routes. Purdy's going to be that guy. Like, Purdy's going to be the man for the 49ers. It's not a shot at Brock Purdy. I know people don't like when you talk about Brock Purdy. They call me a Trey Lance, Jimmy Stan, or whatever. I don't know how many times I got to big up Brock Purdy. I mean, I was one of the only people saying that he has the it factor. Like, that's what Brock Purdy is.
You were one of the first people that said that Brock Purdy was elite. Like, we literally had an argument on this very show.
Bingo. But for some reason, if I say Brock has to hit this pass down the field to a wide open wide receiver, you know what I'm saying? It's because, now he has to be perfect. Yeah. All quarterbacks got to be perfect, right? That's what makes him elite, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, now he don't got to be perfect because he had a game where he went 22 for 30 and had 6 drops. 2, I guess, bad passes. Whatever.
Yeah.
All I know is
my whole thing is that, I mean, Aiyuk did drop a pass yesterday. I feel like that after he dropped a pass, that's kind of when he kind of off. I don't know if Kyle told Brock that he needed to do that. I'm not exactly sure, but I do know that Aiyuk did have some drops, and maybe that's what it is. And
he had 2 drops in this game.
That's why it goes back to chemistry, because I feel like they're just not on the same page yet. And it's going to take time. It's going to take a couple more weeks. I'm sure, hopefully, they will be able to get on the same page. That's what I mean by chemistry, is that they get on the same page with each other, because I feel like that they're not there. And they were, and that's what's unfortunate.
But that's not chemistry. He just didn't catch it. So if he ran the right route, he was at the spot, the ball was there, he got to catch it. What that got to do with chemistry? Just catch the fucking ball. You just don't drop it. Well, because if that's the case, if that's your take, then nobody should be shitting on Ronnie Bell, because he don't get none of them reps. And there's definitely no chemistry with Brock Purdy. But he's supposed to catch the ball, right?
Ronnie Bell's not good.
How's he going to be good if he...
Ronnie Bell's not good.
It's not about him being good.
You can't put that in the same thing with Aiyuk, because Ronnie Bell's not good.
It's about receivers and chemistry, Peachy. I'm talking about chemistry. Yeah, Bell sucks, no doubt, but he doesn't get the reps with his quarterback. If he's getting the ball thrown to him from Tom, Dick, and Harry, and not the starting quarterback, how are you supposed to build the chemistry? Brandon Aiyuk has done that before. So I don't think it's a chemistry thing. I think Brandon Aiyuk just can't catch right now. It's not chemistry. He's running the routes. He's there. Ball's thrown. He just drops it. I don't think that's chemistry. Now, if he was running the route and he ran the wrong route and Brock Purdy threw the ball to a different spot, that's chemistry. But they seem in sync. Aiyuk's just not catching the ball. Not comparing Ronnie Bell to Brandon Aiyuk. I'm comparing chemistry, which is what you're referring to. Don't think it's chemistry. I just don't. I don't think Brock Purdy has chemistry issues with any of these pass catchers on this football field. Maybe a little bit with Jordan Mason, but I think that's more Kyle Shanahan just being the butthead, not just throwing the ball. Just throwing the ball. He can catch. Ronnie Bell can't catch, but my point is I don't think he's getting those reps with Brock Purdy. If he was, because that's my thing, Bell, you need to get Brock Purdy out there and or get a jug machine or something. Go rent Jordan Mason to just catch passes somehow. Catch him all kind of ways if you're going to try to play in the NFL. For whatever team that may be, you need to learn how to catch. I don't know what happened to him, but Brandon Aiyuk is dropping passes too, and that is something that he usually leads the team in drops, though. Now that I think about it, we have this conversation every year. He's usually dropping passes. It's just that he always ends up catching more than the drops, so you kind of forget about the drop. He usually gets about 11 to 12 to 13 drops a year. Let me just look and see where he is right now. And I don't know how to do the trajectory stuff. People be like, yeah, man, he's on pace to get this many amount of drops. I don't know how y'all do that. But let me just see how many drops he has this year. Because if I'm not mistaken, I'll check Brandon Aiyuk's drops. And usually he's leading the team in drops. All right, here we go. Let's see. Aiyuk. What do I want? Receiving. Let's go this year. Brandon Aiyuk has 2 drops. That means his drops, some of the drops that we see are contested in PBUs. So if you see a drop and it's like, oh, you thought that was a drop, it was considered a good defense. So it's considered more of a PBU. All right. So he only has 2 drops recorded on the season. But let's go back to 2023. Oh, wait. 2023, he only had 2 drops. 2022, he had 6 drops. That's the main number. 2021, he had 3 drops. In 2020, his rookie season, only had 5 drops. So a lot of the drops that we see are really contested catches or like PBUs or something like that, to where it doesn't count against the receiver. It's crazy. Oh, I got to check Ronnie Bell's since I'm at it. I got to check Ronnie Bell. Peachy, while I do that, what are your thoughts about the Patriots coming into town? I'm just curious to know what your thoughts are.
I think I have to say about
don't be mad. Don't be mad at Ronnie Bell drops. But this motherfucker got 3 drops in his career. I don't know how, but that's how they, and I think 2 of them came last night. Really? I think they came last night. Listen, I don't grade them. I'm just going off of what I see. Some of those drops we saw, like, preseason don't count. I think that's what it is. Preseason don't count.
So the first thing that stuck out to me was that the 49ers are 10.5-point favorites against the Patriots already.
10.5?
10.5.
Whew. Oh, Peachy, you know what the word might be for Aiyuk? Big Dad said it. I don't think it's chemistry. I think it's more rust. So that's different than chemistry because he's running the routes. He doesn't seem tired, even though he was getting beat up on Sunday. God dang. How many hits we see Brandon Aiyuk take that we've never seen before?
Yeah.
Whew. I think Big Dez is on to something. I think he's more rusty.
I understand that.
I think he's more rusty than chemistry because it just seems like he's running the right routes. Now, I wish Purdy would give him the ball. Papa said something earlier on the show, just because, he's open doesn't mean he's supposed to go there. Nah. If your guy is open, you always go there. It's about Brock scanning the field, going through his progressions. And somehow Brock's taking a little slight decline in his progressionism. It's not the same. It's not like last year.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, Nigel, don't come for me, Nigel. You want to come for me, bro? You sure you want to do this? You want to do this? All right, here we go. Let's have some fun. Peachy, give me more thoughts on this Patriot game while I get this going. I love this show.
So what?
Don't come for me. How many targets? I got you, bro.
What I was going to say is that the one thing that this Patriots offense does pretty well is run the football. So if this 49er defense is not able to stop the run, it could also be a long day for this defense.
If Ramondre Stevenson is pissed off because of last week, that could be a long day. And now, putting this into perspective of what the information we just broke on tonight's episode. Now that Javon Hargrave, who was terrible in run defense too, by the way. So the 49ers still can't stop the run. Just want to put that out there. We still can't stop the run. So
hold on, Breezy. This is hilarious.
Well, is it good news for Ronnie Bell? There is room for bums in the league. Trace Sermon. I know you would put that up because that's an Ohio State guy, so you're happy. But for sure. Maybe Ronnie Bell just doesn't belong on this roster. You know what I mean?
Maybe he's go the Colts.
You know what my issue is? So when Peachy's talking about the Patriots and their run game, the Patriots have an identity, sort of, kind of.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Sort of. And little Jimmy, I'm gonna get to this. And the Patriots play gritty football. And I think my issue is that the 49ers defensively, when you talked about earlier to bring the show into full circle, you talked about violence. I think the 49ers get intimidated by bully football, by gritty football, excuse me. And I remember when the 49ers used to be the big bad bullies.
That's right.
I think they appear to be that, and then they get bullied.
Yeah.
When you got a guy that comes, they got a dual back, they got a dual running back system with Gibson, who is a good pass catching back, and if their offensive line is clicking, they're going to try to run the ball on the San Francisco 49ers in the discussion. And if they run the ball successfully, because the Niners, this is not that show where we do what I do this. I'm going to do this on Wednesday on the game plan with John and on the Patreon. But do you want to know where the Niners are ranked as far as rushing yards per game? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're top 10. 103 yards. Now it's starting to, the more games we get, the stuff is starting to average itself, settle itself. Yes. Starting to settle itself. But so the Niners, they remain in the top 10, thank God. But we still need Jacksonville to finish tonight. And they are also, they're right above the Niners. So they're ninth. They might push the Niners down depending on, what Cincinnati, who are they playing tonight? What they do, right? So we'll see. So yeah, that's 10th, and just in retro, let's look at the offensive side, and let's just see where the Patriots are rushing per game. All right, so I'm on the offense, and as of right now, again, we don't have the four teams that are playing tonight in here. Patriots are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th. They're 8th. You know where the Rams were? They were like 28th.
They certainly were.
So now we got the 8th. Sorry, they told me to stop yelling. Now we got the 8th team in the NFL leading and averaging.
That we couldn't even.
They average 144.3 yards per game.
It's insane. It really reminded me of the Cardinals. Remember when we played the Colt McCoy Cardinals? And they were last in almost every category.
I tried to get rid of that, out of my memory.
Oh my God.
We got embarrassed by Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy earned a starting job after that game. They told Kyler Murray, go play PlayStation, bro. We got Colt McCoy.
It's crazy.
This game's going to be interesting. If the Patriots do run the ball successfully. Aha, you want to see that stat? All right, hold on. GSU for life, man. You ain't. I got you, dog.
And you were late, GSU. Don't think I didn't notice that.
Oh, got called
out. So you're going to be late talking ish. Got it.
Where my dogs at? I don't know. There we go. All right. Let me upload that. That's a wild record, yo. The 49ers were 50-0 when they led the game by 14 or more points.
Insane.
And the Rams had lost 101 games. Oh. I was trying to move on to the Patriots. They were 50-0 when up by 14 points in the second half.
I'm telling all you guys something, because this is a safe space, of course. So I'm telling you it. Somebody pissed off the football gods. They need to figure out what happened, and they need to fix it.
Somebody need to go pray.
Somebody needs to fall on their knees at the altar and pray for this team.
Please, because I don't know.
Oh, Jesus.
You know what, Peachy?
I don't know what it is, but I put my meme up. Fix it, Jesus.
Yes. You remember, like, I always wait to the day after the game.
Yes.
To get the injury report, because it's always a surprise.
Yeah.
So now I'm literally waiting till, what's today? Monday? So I'm literally waiting till Monday. If we play on Sunday, I'm waiting till the Monday before I really start to like overreact. You know why? Because that's when we get the real injury report. Other than that, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Peachy, what do the 49ers have to do to beat the Patriots?
The one thing the 49ers have to do to beat the Patriots is they have to be able to stop the run. And they have to be able to control the line of scrimmage. And they have to make sure that Jacoby Brissett doesn't have a day against this 49ers team. That's all you got to be able to do. Which is why they have us as 10.5 favorites, because we should not lose this game.
Bump that favorite crap.
I know. I'm 100% with you. I'm just saying that Vegas still believes in us, that we're going to beat this Patriots team. And somebody had mentioned a while ago, and I appreciate it. And so kudos to you, whoever it was, that said that 49ers have got to stop playing down to their competition. Like,
yes, that was Ty. I think. No, Terry, one of them. Somebody with a T.
Cannot do that.
Yeah.
They got to stop that.
Terry
they got to look at this Patriots game like their life depends on winning this game. That's literally what they need to do. The attitude that they have right now, they need to look at this game is that their playoff lives this year depend on winning this game. I'm just saying. We've already lost 2 back-to-back NFC games. The way the NFC looks right now, there's going to be some battles in this thing, and we've already lost 2.
Yeah, but the only one that matters is the division. You could miss me with the other shit. We won the NFC last year. How'd that work out? I'd rather us not win the NFC and just get to the daggone playoffs and battle our way in there every single week. You know what I'm saying? For some reason, that break screwed up the chemistry, like the momentum that we had. It did. It was bad. I know we needed it health-wise, but nah. Niners need to play football every week. I'm okay if the Niners don't win the number 1 seed. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm cool, calm, and collected.
No, I don't think we're going to. So,
well, they still can. You going on for 3 weeks of football. It's not like we're in the 6 weeks or 8 weeks. It's 3 weeks. It's only 3 weeks of football. Week 4 is coming up. The Niners can easily be 500, or they could be 1-3. Right? So, like, it is what it is. But I don't think that, I know people don't care about beating these AFC teams. I just want people to remind everybody, last year we lost to every AFC team except for the Steelers. Just want to remind everybody. Every AFC team we played last year, we got our asses whipped except for the Steelers, which was week 1, and we caught them by a surprise because we was fully healthy and nobody knew what we were doing. Bet you if we would have played the Steelers later on in that season, we probably would have lost to them too.
But this is I don't know. And I might be the only one that feels this way. I just feel like this is just a different 1 and 2 season so far. It just doesn't feel right.
But does it ever feel right when you're 1 and 2, PG? Like, it's never going to feel good.
I don't know.
Right? GSU for Life says this ain't like, I'm not. The reason why I brought up last year was the simple fact that We went to the Super Bowl after losing to every AFC team except for the Steelers. That's why I brought it up. We took care of the NFC and got our ass pounded by the AFC. Well, this year, the Jets was
we're getting our ass
team.
pounded by the NFC. And we're beating the AFC so far. And that's my whole point that I'm trying to say. It's different. It's just not the same.
But my point is, if we get to the Super Bowl, maybe we won't lose to the AFC. That's all I was trying to say.
Oh, got you. And I understand. Yeah. That right there makes a lot of sense.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That right there from Cali.
I'm getting to all these star questions. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm over DFF. Doesn't even belong on the roster.
Yep. I'm 100% with you. Is Steve Wilkes available, or should Brandon Staley take over because Sorensen is an F?
This is back to the grades of Sorensen. It's all about, I personally am willing to give Nick Sorensen 2 more games. But if I'm hoping that if Kyle doesn't see what he needs to see in the next 2 games, and to me this week doesn't count. It's the NFC game that Peachy just talked about, and more importantly, it's the divisional game. So I just want to win the division. At this point, it's about going now 5-1 in the division.
Right.
You win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. Everything else doesn't matter. Just get to the playoffs.
Nigel says Purdy's back hurts from carrying the team.
Now he day-to-day listed with a sore back. Because you know why Purdy back sore? Because Cole McKivitz.
Yes.
Cole McKivitz, don't ever wear that Brock Purdy t-shirt ever again if you're not going to protect him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because, bruh, that's your quarterback, bruh. Like, dive at the motherfucker. Get the penalty. Crazy. Don't let him hit your quarterback and strip the ball.
Crazy.
The time you should take the penalty, the time you should hold,
yes, exactly.
grab a face mask, hit him in the nostrils, the double oblongata. You miss it. But I don't get it. I don't get it.
It was so crazy. I just, yeah. So, I have literally been saying this. I put out tweets about this. His first mistake is wearing the number 10 jersey. That's a bad luck jersey. They need to burn this jersey and never let anyone wear it ever again. Retire it as a bad luck jersey. I don't know. They need to do something. There is something up with that number 10, though.
Has there ever been a good number 10 in San Francisco?
No.
I'm trying to think back before
Kyle Williams.
Yeah, before Kyle Williams. I'm trying to think back before Kyle Williams, and I can't remember.
Anybody out there who can think of a number 10 before Kyle Williams?
I'm not gonna shit on Jimmy Garoppolo, but he was all right until he got hurt. I thought Jimmy was that guy. I'm not even gonna stunt. And then when he got hurt, he kept getting hurt. It was like one injury led to the next injury. What was the first injury? Was the ACL against Kansas City. And then the second injury was the high ankle sprain. Was that in the New York Jets game? The high ankle sprain? And then okay, so what really pissed me off about Jimmy was the time he was able to return from the high ankle sprain and chose to make a business decision. That's when I turned on Jimmy, because I watched George Kittle trot his ass right back out there on a high ankle sprain when he was eligible to return. And then when Jimmy came back, we went to the Super Bowl that year, right? If I'm not mistaken. And then that was in 2021, right? We went to the Super Bowl, but he was beat up. He was banged up, remember? Remember, Jimmy was bruised in that Rams game. I don't know if people remember that. Plus, he didn't have Trent Williams out there. So Jimmy wasn't all bad, but number 10 just sucks. Nate Singleton, GSU for life. Nate Singleton. I remember Nate Singleton. Wide receiver, right? Wide receiver Nate Singleton. He was trash.
I don't think it was him, but now we do have Kendrick Bourne that wore it for one season.
Nah, that don't count. He was trash in that season too.
But
he dropped
Bruce
everything.
Ellington.
Oh, Bruce Ellington. I remember Bruce Ellington. He was all right later on as they were about to move on from him. He turned into something. Was it? Yeah. I swear I remember Nate Singleton, though. That name sounds so familiar.
So a lot of these guys literally only wore it for either part of a season or half the season. So let's just tell you something. Like,
just burn the 10.
Right. It just needs to go.
Or
just
retire.
burn it.
The fuck? Just put it out of its misery. Just do one of these to number 10 jersey. You know? Just hit it with one of those. Put 2 slugs in it and keep it moving.
Apparently,
you know what I mean?
there's Niner fans that are burning their Aiyuk jerseys.
If you want to be stupid and burn your jersey,
that's
be my
what I'm
guest.
saying. You could have just sent that to me.
That's on you, right? If you feel like you want to burn a
send
jersey,
it to us.
Just send it right here. We'll take care of it, man. We'll raffle it off.
We'll take care of it.
Yeah.
Nate Singleton, he was number 88 and number 87.
Oh, so he never wore number 10.
Right. No.
It was Bruce Ellington that wore number 10.
Right, Bruce Ellington.
Gotcha. I mean, yeah, Nate Singleton wore. Wait, what's the Nate that be on the That's Nate Burleson. My bad. I'm getting my Nates mixed up. But Nate Singleton, I remember. I thought he was solid for the Niners. I really did.
He played for 3 years for the 49ers. He was decent when he was here.
Queen KB Hargrave out for the season. What the freak, bro? Yes. Torn tricep. I wonder if anybody still feels like they want to throw shade because they felt like he took that play off on that bomb touch of various Mooney Ward.
Yeah.
I wonder how much pain. I wonder what a tore tricep feels like.
Oof. Not good. It just
I don't
doesn't
know.
seem like it's good. That's for
Well,
sure.
I've personally felt like I've torn my tricep like numerous times, and I just don't know it. But I know when it's tender and it hurts. But I'm able to just let the shit repair because I don't play football. Yeah. If I can't do tricep weights, I'm just not gonna do them. Like, and then hopefully it repairs over time.
Right.
He has to get his surgically repaired though, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I know. It's true.
The pecs, it's like the smallest muscles. When they overly tear, you're a wrap. Pecs in the chest, triceps. Imagine tearing your bicep. Who was that linebacker we got from Seattle? And he tore his bicep like first day of practice.
All right.
Not KJ Wright, because what if KJ Wright is the reason why our linebackers suck?
That's possible.
I'm trying to think of that linebacker from Seattle we got. And he tore his bicep, but I thought he was going to help us out big freaking time.
Yep.
Yes, Alejandro Hargrave is out for the season. Jimmy's listed day to day. He said, "Nah, the linebackers just suck." And who else you mentioned, Peachy, on the injury report? D. Winters ankle injury.
Brock has a back.
Brock day to day
Injury. Brock day to day. McCaffrey is in
Germany. Yes. Thank you. Him.
And why? Okay, so I do have something that I want to gripe about before we get out of here. Why is it? Why come we have these people that are catching all this flack? Where's McCaffrey's flack? I mean, and what he got going on. He also
he gets the pass because Kyle overutilized him. Remember, you was pissed because Kyle, so he gets the pass. That's on Kyle. You can't sit there and trash your coach and then ask where's the flack. You said it was because Kyle.
No,
when we got to an argument,
was asking people. Is what I was saying. Is what I was asking people why they weren't getting the same. Like where's his at? That's all I'm saying. I just want it to be across the board.
Why would he get flack if
it definitely is Kyle's fault?
But why would he get flack if people feel that he was overused?
But everybody doesn't feel that he was overused.
I think the majority. I mean, I don't feel he was overused. So I don't care about Christian McCaffrey flack because he ain't playing. Like, ain't nothing he can do. It's an injury that I have no idea what it is. Honestly, I don't know what.
Jangelo feels that CMC is done for the season.
I feel the same exact.
I absolutely do too.
And if that's the case, then we have to find a way to utilize Jordan Mason, because every game that we've lost so far is because of the if you're gonna overuse him week 1 against the Jets to secure a victory, you give this man, let him average 25 carries a game at least, minimal.
Yeah.
You have to, because he's an explosive play away, And if you want to put in a rookie, you can. You got Patrick Taylor Jr. there. You got running backs. Kyle is not managing the running back room properly. Yep. And because of that, we're losing these games. And if you want to know how we lost, Kevin Parker says he got the Madden curse. Whatever y'all want to believe in at this point, that's what it is. You look at Kyle Shanahan, and I say to myself, bruh, I know you tried to force run it. Like, Peachy, he did what you asked him to do, and it didn't work. That's why I was trying to explain to you in that last game against the Vikings why we had to throw, because they were stacking the box. So in this game, remember Jake Moody's field goal that was like 30 yards? Mm-hmm. It was because Kyle tried to run it with Jordan Mason 3 times, and they just blocked it all 3 times. Now, I don't know where the creativity was. I don't know why there wasn't like any type of boot rollouts to the opposite side just to give a better look to where Brock can at least throw it away if nobody's open. I don't know, but he did what you asked him to do. He heard you, and it didn't work. And so it's crazy that, Kyle just doesn't, I don't know, to me, Kyle seems different. Kyle doesn't seem confident. That's more of the bigger issue for me than it is these players like not executing. And I think Kyle just needs to let these guys go out and play freaking football, man. Just have fun out there. At this point, have fun, especially if you go 1-3. Have fun. Now you just gotta let them go out there and have fun. It's gonna be a long season, and we're at week 4 and we lost our first player for the year.
Yeah. So I felt like watching, at least to me, it appeared that Brock played so much freer yesterday.
Yes.
Not having all these weapons out there and everything, that he was able to just move around and do all these different things and freelance, and it would get to be really, really good. And I really hope that Kyle will continue to keep that in mind. Brock is very intelligent. Breeze is one of the first people that was talking about how elite his mind is and everything. And you could see it yesterday with us missing so many players on offense. How Brock had probably one of the best games since he's been here. People were wanting to know how he would do without all the Avengers out there. He showed you yesterday.
He did. You're right, but PG, listen, you're 100% correct. Brock's not an issue. Brock is never the issue. The issue with Brock is when he has to play, I don't want to be the bad guy. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. But when Brock has to play elite defenses is when he struggles. When they force Brock to use his physical attributes more than the processing, when they put 8 people in the box, making him, remember how they used to beat Jimmy Garoppolo? Just put 8 people in the box. He can't throw it. The difference is Brock can throw it, but if Brock can't see over these 8 people, that's a physical attribute that he just doesn't possess. Teams are starting to pick up on those little tendencies. Brock wasn't playing an elite defense yesterday. He had defensive players that made elite plays. He had young guys out there that looked elite, but they were Aaron Donald-less, and they didn't look good the majority of the game. And so Brock took advantage of that. Brock did exactly what he was supposed to do. You take advantage of the weaknesses. And then it came down to, I don't know, a 3rd and 8 play where Brock tried. He tried to make the play. But I don't get, why didn't you just call run play? Like, worst case scenario, you kick a field goal. You were going to kick the field goal anyway. You kicked it from, it was supposed to be 57, but because Brock got 3 yards, it ended up being like a 55-yarder. It was supposed to be a 58-yarder or something like that. You were going to kick it anyway. So you should have just set up to run the ball if the box wasn't stacked. And I thought that was it. Like, Kyle is not seeing the game right, or somebody else is calling plays, and that information hasn't been leaked out yet.
Right. I got you. So NotaGoat16 says Shanahan struggles against elite defenses. His micromanagement system struggles, not Purdy.
Nah. That's it's both. So we talk about players executing, and Brock struggles against these elite defenses. Now, can Kyle call up Kyle's job though, which is why I said it's both. Kyle's job is to adjust it. He's supposed to go in, adjust the game plan. Brock, what do you see? Okay, that's trust. Right? That Niner Goat, you talked about Shanahan has trust issues. Well, let's get to that comment. That's trust. Because I want to know what the guy on the football field sees. I know what I see from the sideline, but what do you see? What are they doing differently? So, Brock does struggle against elite defenses, and it's sometimes because of his physical attributes. Every game is different. If you go back to last year's game, which a lot of people don't want to go back to last year, but if you look at that Baltimore Ravens, it wasn't. Who were they stacking the box with? Big ass, tall, long arm defensive backs, not linebackers, defensive backs were up there. What did they do? Bat the ball down. What does Brock Purdy lead the league and batted balls down this year? I feel like he has a whole bunch.
And they seem to, in that Baltimore game was so crazy because it seemed like they had different ones out there each time. I'm like, where the hell are these big dudes from? Like that literally kept, when they subbed him in, more big dudes. I'm like, dang, how many big dudes do they have on this team? It was crazy.
That's what I mean. So when I say physical attributes, Niner Goat, or anybody out there watching, it's more of his. He can't do anything about his height. So why can't Kyle Shanahan just be like, all right, man, I'm going to boot you to the left, and I'm going to send one guy with you. If you don't see the play down the field, you could check it to him. If he's covered, you could fake it, take off and run. You just got to beat one man. Give me that. Brock is athletic enough to beat a guy. He's athletic enough to beat guys. We watched it. Peachy just said he looked free. He was beating guys on the edge. He had 41 yards rushing. Not that I want that all the time, but my point is he's athletic enough to do certain things. Kyle has to use his athleticism as an advantage opposed to the defenses trying to take his athleticism away. That's all I'm saying. So that's why I say it could be both, if that makes any sense. Well, nobody believed me when I said that the Vikings defense was legit. People said, it's the 49ers and they don't know what to do. Well, yeah. So about this, what had happened was, DeMeco Ryans is a disciple of Kyle Shanahan.
Exactly.
And so is their offensive coordinator. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. He was with us too. And, yep, they're set up just like the San Francisco 49ers. And I told everybody that the Houston Texans will lose this game. And I said why. PG, do you remember why I said they would lose the game, though?
For which? For the Vikings game?
Texans-Vikings. Do you remember why I said they will lose?
Because they don't have they didn't have a running game.
They didn't have Joe Mixon.
Mixon was out.
Listen, bro.
The one behind him was out.
All I'm saying is I love Jordan Mason.
Run the ball.
But that it's not even about running the ball. It's y'all missing the point. It's not about running the ball. It's about where the running back lines up.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon is in the conversation of a running back that has responsibilities like Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
That's what separates Christian McCaffrey from a lot of the running backs. There's probably 5 in the NFL that can kind of do what he does. Saquon Barkley.
Bobby Slowick.
Thank you.
Slowick, yeah.
Saquon Barkley, okay, that would be one. Josh Jacobs is another, okay? And now Joe Mixon has always been that dude. You want to know why Cincinnati's struggling? They were silly. I don't call anybody stupid anymore. So it's certain running backs that forces defenses to defend differently. The fact that they stacked the box against us, the Vikings defense, because we didn't have Christian McCaffrey, was the game changer. It forced Brock to do things he just was uncomfortable doing.
Right.
And yeah, I love Jordan Mason. We should have just kept giving him the ball, but that, for some reason, it might have got Jordan Mason hurt because all they did was put 8 people in the box. The Rams did the same thing. And they were just stacking the box. I got to do my negative play videos for the Patreon, but I already wrote it down in my notes. I think I counted 5 negative runs. I've never counted 5 negative.
I have to address this. Great one. Coach Prime needs to take care of this college team that he's got first before he thinks about coming to the NFL. That's why he won't do it.
I think Coach Prime is going to bring a certain type of publicity to an organization, but he will get players to want to run through walls for him. Now, Colorado has some skilled players, but man, who they got to go against is they're just always more prepared. I don't know if Coach Prime is really a good coach. I think he's a player's coach. If we were, I don't know. I don't think he would work in the NFL. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. Peachy, what a great show. Mm-hmm. I think the Niners should be able to handle the Patriots. The Patriots weren't slated to win many games this year. They got their first win of the season against Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. I just don't see them traveling across country, however many miles that is, over 2,000 miles, and finding a way to beat San Francisco 49ers. I don't think the 49ers are going to start 0-3. I don't care, Peachy, if this game doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is getting back in the win column.
That's right.
And then starting it from there. What are your final thoughts? And we're up out of here.
I just want to say, just to piggyback off what you said, I think a win will be good for morale. Something's off in this locker room, and it's something that
I meant 1-3. Sorry,
I'm definitely not used to seeing. Is it just, you can just tell there's just something off. I don't know if it was the contracts. I'm not sure what it was. All I know is that something is off. We need to get back in the win column. It always fixes everything whenever you win. And as long as we go on a long string of wins, this team will be just fine. I just feel like with all these injuries piling up and everything like that, I'm so nervous about this Seattle game coming up. I know we'll spend a whole bunch of time on that, but Mike McDonald, that the way that he's got that Seahawks defense playing, Lord have mercy. So we have to go on a win streak, and it starts with New England, and it has to start with New England, because God forbid it doesn't start with New England and we come back here, it is not going to be pretty. I'm telling you, it's just not. It is very, very eerie the way things are going right now. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that this will just be a distant memory, wait in the future. I'm just, like I said, but you guys have been great. Your interaction has been fantastic. The questions are great. The comments are great. Zooming so fast that it was hard for me to click on a lot of people's comments. There's some great comments in there. We appreciate it as always. I'm not going to congratulate the Rams. I know that the Rams fans are in here and that's what they're wanting. It's not happening. So just letting you know, if that's what you came in here for, we appreciate you watching the whole time we've been here. Appreciate that very much.
I'll tip my hat to them. I have zero problems. Y'all beat us. At the end of the day, y'all beat us. I don't care how y'all did it. Y'all got it done. I thought that would have been us. And I talked smack. And so I'm cool with it. I'll tip my hat to y'all. Y'all did it. Y'all cool, though. The Rams fans are cool. Like, I haven't had experienced any, really crazy fan. But I'll tip my hat to y'all. Y'all team came out there with a veteran quarterback that said, F this, I'll do it myself. And he did it. I knew it, though. I just had a feeling Matthew Stafford was going to be in the game. Kyle Shanahan said it. It's like, yo, we kept him around. We kept letting him linger around. Duh.
Instead of,
you know who we play this week? He might not be as good as Matthew Stafford, but you know what he is? He's a veteran. If we struggle against this veteran, God, Lord, please let them bench him and put in Drake May. It's probably our only shot. I'm going to say it like it is.
I'm telling you. Jacoby Brissett is a decent quarterback. He's not the worst quarterback in the world. I'm telling you that. And a lot of people were sleeping on Matt Stafford. And okay, I got one more thing that I want to say. Every single week, Breezy provides 5 keys to victory, and also new this season as 5 biggest threats. And I will be dang, every single person that had something to do with what happened yesterday was listed in his 5 biggest threats. Y'all better get on it. He does it. The articles come out on WebZone, and then he also does one better. He actually releases videos on each of these before the game so that you will be well versed in what you're about to run into. And he was spot on with this one, like spot on completely.
You know what made this one scary? I had to do more homework on this one than I had to do on the first couple ones because they had a lot of injuries. So yeah. I said, well, dang, they don't have many offensive threats.
Right.
So obviously it was the other 2, but I would have had to take one defensive player off, right? And you know who it would have been? It would have been mother freaking Byron Young.
Yeah.
I just think that dude's a problem.
He is.
I just think he's a problem, and he's giving the 49ers fits with or without.
Yes.
I ain't going to say his name because I don't like him, but he was that man. He was that guy. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Nitty Gritty Niners. Sorry that the others couldn't be here on tonight. No one has been fired. GSU for Life 1. No one's fired. Listen, people have lives. Schedules change. And Peachy and I will be here. We will do our best to be here every single Monday, whether it's 7 p.m., 8 p.m., or 9 p.m. You're going to get a show. So we will be here. We hope you guys at least enjoy the 2 of us. But hopefully the other guys will be back next week when we celebrating this victory. I'm sure if we win, they'll be
on there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. And listen, whatever your takes are, man, feel free to get those takes out there. No one's wrong. You know, it's free of speech. So say what you feel. If you feel like I'm going to snap at you, I'm not. I could care less about it. My thing is these players are 49ers, and whether they're good or whether they're bad, I just try to look for the best in each one of them. I think that's my thing. It has nothing to do with players that go to Michigan or things like that. They just happen to be former alumni of the college team that I support. But right now they're wearing red and gold. Will they be on this roster? I don't know. I don't make those decisions. But they got to this roster has to improve. Players got to go out there and practice on their own. I remember Peachy wanting to be the best at playing the piano. I still practice to this day because I don't want somebody to come in trying to take my spot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever players got to do to improve, they got to go out there and do it. And that goes from the stars to the depth. You got to go out there. The hunger, you got to find it. Like, there's got to be something that's driving you, you know, to play the game of football. Whatever your passion is, whatever your fire is, you got to find a way to fuel it. And so for players like Ronnie Bell, listen, you're a professional, bro. You're going to have to find a way to take whatever everybody, all this adversity, everything everybody's saying about you, hope you can rechannel it and make a catch. Start by making one catch. You ain't got to make 3. Just make one. Make one and then do it again and start building from there. And that goes for everybody. Like, everybody's just got
for Jauan Jennings.
Nobody wants to have that conversation.
I
brought it up, but I'm not going to go there because Jauan Jennings is wide receiver 1, but people forgot he couldn't catch. I'll leave it at that. Love y'all. Keep it nitty gritty always. We going to be back. We got stuff to talk about. We winning this week. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my bones. Feel it all in my bones. I don't know if y'all know who that was, but we out. It feels good.
Hey.
Breezy, gritty, this that
Mo's nose. Peachy, it's about that time. Everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's nose, Peachy, Breezy, and fair to God. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you 9 to talk. We 2 gorilla, silverback, 9 silver
You know it's
hawks.
busting good discussion cause we get it in. Every time you know we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win. The faithful going hard. It's Wayne, Breezy, Peachy, Mo's nose, and fear to God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall.
We outline players up in chalk.
Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the Linus talk. Nitty gritty, this the Linus talk.